Tonight's true scary story is one of the most terrifying stories that I have done so far. It is about somebody who was terrorized by a demon from the age of like 5 to 6 years old to like 16 years old, and then it went away for a little bit and then it came back. And what this demon did to this person is horrifying. Ruin their life. If you get scared easily, I would not watch this at night. There is your warning. Okay. Before we get started though, if you could hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. It does help my videos get pushed out, but only if you appreciate my work. And also, if you want to get notified when I tell true scary stories, hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's get started. So we're gonna call this person Kenzie. It all started when Kenzie, her brother, and her father moved into a 3-story house with 2 apartments on each floor. The house was over 100 years old, but it was well renovated, and it was right across the street from her new school, and it had a lovely park next to it. It was a lovely place to grow up. She was maybe 5 or 6 years old at the time, but at this time she started noticing that she was seeing shadows at the corner of her eyes. It was actually not until she got a little bit older that she realized that seeing shadows out of the corner of your eyes is not just an eye thing. Like, it's not a normal thing. It doesn't happen to everybody. She was also incredibly afraid of the dark, and she was afraid that when she was in the dark, she was going to wake up one night and Batman was going to be standing there to kill her. She said looking back on it, she did realize that Batman was a tall, dark figure, and so this is important for later on in the story. Now, she's always been very sensitive to energies and like the paranormal, so her guess was that she had already sensed the presence that she was about to deal with. She just did not know it yet. And even from a very young age, she dealt with depression and insomnia, and this was due to some bad family stuff that she was going on. This will also be relevant later on in the story. When she got older, about 12 years old, her mental health issues heightened drastically. So she was starting to cut herself, unfortunately, and she was dealing with severe insomnia. Now, she finished high school at around 15 years old, so she started sleeping during the day and she would be awake all night long. Sometimes she wouldn't even sleep at all. She became incredibly sleep deprived, and then weird stuff started happening. Objects would disappear and then reappear months later, and stuff would fall off shelves randomly. She took note of this. She noticed that it was weird. She thought it was odd, but she kind of just put it to the side. But then it got a little bit worse, because then she started hearing voices whispering and yelling her name, and it was in her brother and her father's voices. But then she would realize that they were either not there or they were asleep.
Kenzie.
Then things got even worse than that. She started hearing a lot of things, so a lot of auditory things were going on. She would hear what sounded like gurgling, like someone was being choked to death in the middle of her living room. Strange music in the middle of the night. She would wake up to it, and she would notice that it was coming from the corner of her room.